Right, so we are recording, so let's begin. So, good evening. My name is Brick. Could you tell me your full name, please?
My name is Balnur Ongarbaeva. You can call me Balnur.
Thank you very much. Now, let's get straight to part one. So, in part one of the IELTS speaking test, I will ask you some questions about yourself and your hometown. So, firstly, where is your hometown?
So I'm from the eastern part of Kazakhstan. I came from little city called Simei. It's a mountainous area, and the nature is just perfect there. I've been growing up for 17 years. Then I moved to Astana, and yeah.
Okay, excellent. And can you describe your hometown?
So my hometown is pretty small. It has around 100,000 like citizens in it, and we are like literally a community helping with each other. And I almost know every each of them surprisingly. And most of the time we go to mountains to have fun and just go to the lake and sunbathing in the summers.
Okay. And is your hometown a good place to live in?
Definitely. Well, um, the climate is pretty harsh sometimes, but still there are lots of activities that you can do in summer and winter as well. As I said before, the area that I grew up is mountainous, so in winter you can like slide and do different activities like building snowman and a lot of things. What about summer? We have lots of lakes and rivers, so um, I would recommend to live at least once when choosing the area in Kazakhstan.
Okay. And what do you like most about your hometown?
Hmm. Mostly, I think it is people, which attracts me most, because we are very close knit community, and like knowing every each of them and celebrating different like New Year's and celebrations, festivals is so much fun, and never feel alone when you have a lot of friends and relatives that are living all together in one place and having your best time.
Okay. And is there anything that you dislike about your hometown?
Hmm. It's pretty a rural area, so in terms of infrastructure, it's kind of bad because in order to buy some um, technologically like sophisticated things, you have to go outside the city and do your, for example, governmental works outside the city. So yeah, like in in terms of that, it can be a bit problematic.
Okay. And what can people do for fun in your hometown?
Hmm. I think the museums would be the best variant. We have lots of museums and a lot of writers and the best minds of our country grew up in my city, which is extremely interesting, and you can even discover new places and even the house of the writers that they grew up, and there are lots of things to discover around the city and even educating yourself, visiting museums and art museums, etc.
Okay. And the final question for part one is do you get a lot of tourists in your hometown?
Yeah, definitely. We have lots of tourists coming up every year, especially in summer. It's peak season because at that time the weather is so nice and you can enjoy the lakes, mountains, and discover the museums that they are interested in. Mm, so yeah.
Okay, excellent. Right, so we've come to the end of part one of the speaking test. We will now move over to part two. So, in part two of the test, I will give you a card with a topic on it, and you will have 60 seconds to make notes on that card. And then once your 60 seconds are over, I will tell you, and you will speak for 1 to 2 minutes. So I will send you the card on WhatsApp. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. So just let me know if you've received it.
Mhm, I received it.
Okay. So I will just use my timer. Do you have a pen and paper next to you?
Just prepare it. Yeah, it's ready.
Okay. So shall I begin the timer?
Yep, sure.
Okay. So I've started. Okay, your 1 minute is now over. So I want you to stop writing, and whenever you are ready, you will speak, and I will set a timer for 2 minutes. Okay,
Okay.
so you can go to start.
So the memorable event that I visited is called Christmas Eve. I had a Christmas Eve party in the Canada. We've gathered all with my friends and relatives. It was really valuable and first time experience for me as I came from Muslim family. We don't really celebrate it, so experiencing that the atmosphere of the Christmas Eve and like singing the songs, watching the movies, playing games was so much fun. After taking all these activities, we've gathered on the table, um, had our wishes, and the we there were lots of international students, and they've all prepared different types of meals, and we got to try it all together. Then we went to the cinema. We watched about a cartoon which is related to Christmas Eve and like some kind of vibe to the New Year as well. And after the movie, we just went our went our ways. But before that, I we had a little walk um, and just enjoying the um, nature and just the beauty of Canada.
Okay,
That's yeah.
right, good. Um, you were talking about Christmas. Do they celebrate Christmas in your hometown?
Yeah, some people does. Some people are against it due to religious, but uh, with the recent years, it's becoming more popular. Uh, Even though like older people are against it, uh, some youngsters do celebrate it.
Okay, great. Right, we will now move over to part three of the speaking test, which is the final part. So, how important do you think celebrations are in society today?
I think it's pretty essential to build connections with your loved ones when you're gathering and celebrating different events, celebrations, you get to know them better and even connect connect with the people that you didn't even met, and through that you can make a lot of connections, especially with the uh, relatives and friends who live a- far away. I That's a great excuse to just call them for celebrating the celebrating the events. It's a great excuse to give presents and coming closer and getting to know them.
Okay. And do you think celebrations are experienced differently by different generations?
I think it has changed a lot in the last decades because I think it's also due to the economic. Um, in the last few decades, it was. Um, oh, can I start again? Can you repeat the question? I forgot it.
Yes, of course. Do you think celebrations are experienced differently by different generations?
Hmm. I think it saw a lot of changes over the periods, mm, but I think the idea stays the same. And in my opinion, it hasn't changed a lot, but what changed the most is the decoration part. The new generation is more interested about generation, creating the like um ambitious, like creating atmosphere of the event and like taking aesthetic photos and all. But in the past, it was all just gathering and eating together. And nowadays, it's more like about organizing it and creating a beautiful picture of the event that you're going to have.
Okay. And the final question, do you think people should get a day off from work on their birthdays?
Yeah, in my opinion, that would be really great because nobody wants to work or study in their birthdays. I think it should be excused to uh, go like take a day off on their birthday. I think it should be even legalized. And looking at your passport, you have an opportunity just not to come work and chill, celebrate it. Because I think for every person, it's a special event. The day you were born, and at that time, I think everyone wants to meet their loved ones and celebrate it in the close knit community that you love.
Okay, excellent. Right. We've now come to the end of the test. I will now stop the recording